Hello everyone. For the first time since I started this channel, I have to do an emergency upload. The timing of my video uploading pretty much almost I think like 10 minutes after that Ryan Daniels tweet, the timing of that is so bad. So for clarity, I've just uploaded a video where it's not completely irrelevant now. I'll leave a link in the top right corner if you want to see it. I discuss a number of things. West Coast asking for 2 first rounders for Tom Barras. And then I spend a good chunk of the video exploring the possibility of signing Matt Owies as a delisted free agent. From all the noise that came out today about West Coast being interested and him not being able to get back to Carlton and the relationship soured, I thought that was going to be as a delisted free agent or a trade for like pick 60 or something. And then I've seen Ryan Daniels tweet. So when I upload the video, I also uploaded on True Footy and I checked the comments on that. And somebody said something along the lines of, "Oh dear, I'm sorry to hear what just happened," or something like that. And I was like, what has happened? And sure enough, Ryan Daniels has tweeted that West Coast are going to accept, more or less, pick 12, 14, and Matthew Owies for pick 3 in a trade. He said the addition of Matt Owies into the trade put this back on the table this afternoon. He's referring to the fact that we quickly, his own words, quickly rejected 12 and 14 for pick 3 outright. But suddenly Matt Owies being added to the trade made this tempting for us. So I've seen that and I wanted to not believe it. And I was like, the timing is bad of uploading that video, but it might be nothing. And then I was like, it's Ryan Daniels though. It is now being run with by Cal Toomey. He's in 2 different tweets. He says that the Liam Baker deal should happen tomorrow. In the last video, I said that it was interesting that work has been done on a trade for Liam Baker. And I was like, well, how is that going to be done without another deal happening first? I was like, that's interesting. Maybe we've got pick 7 and 8 from Shinkula. Ooh. No, it's tied into this fucking Matt Owies debacle, where, apparently the Eagles are split in 3 for 12, 14, and Owies. So if you do the algebra on that, we're going to get pick 12, Liam Baker, Matthew Owies, and probably something else from Richmond. I read that I think we might get something in the 20s back and pick 51 or something that is largely irrelevant. Not completely irrelevant, but oh my God. So where to start with tearing this decision to shreds? I mean, I think at the moment we can probably accept it's probably going to happen. It's being tweeted everywhere. 12 and 14 were not enough, but you add a 28-year-old out of contract, Matthew Owies, for whom we do not have a need. Like, don't get me wrong, in the tone of the last video, I was like, maybe he could add something as a listed free agent to improve the best 22. But given that his value is not that high, why the hell would that be enough for us to accept what is a terrible offer? Now, 12 and 14 for 3, I'm sure if you look at the points index, maybe that checks out. But when you consider the whole scenario of trading pick 3 down to 12 to get Liam Baker, to get Matthew Owies, what the hell is the strategy of West Coast this trade period? I have been calm. I have been defensive of them where I felt reactionary or over-the-top criticism was unclear. And in some of those cases, the Eagles were being criticized for things they hadn't done yet, or we were speculating. But now I just have to consider this trade of 12-14 and Matthew Owies. And I go back to, how long ago was Don Pike saying that our priority this trade period was obviously to secure some players, but maximize our draft hand and build our list through the draft. How the hell is that aligned with what you're doing, West Coast? If you trade from 3 down to 12 to secure a 27-year-old and a 28-year-old, one of whom we didn't need, I'd say we need Liam Baker. Owies we didn't need in terms of list position. In terms of best 22, now I have been open to the idea of a pick split this entire time, but I have been pretty consistent on I didn't want to trade too far down, and I would say 12 is too far down. I think I highlighted St Kilda's pick 7 or 8 as a potential option. Who else? Richmond with Rioli's pick 6. Like if we split down to there and get an extra top 20 pick, I could have lived with that, but trading all the way from 3 to 12, what, because we like Bo Allen? Is that the rumor? Is that what we're going with? We're just going to pick the local kid? In the strongest draft in recent times, for a long time, in an era where West Coast is desperately trying to get young talent, and should we forego a good pick in that draft to secure 27 and 28-year-olds, one of whom may be best 22 for 2 years, and then he'll be 30, and then what? with Don Pike saying that we are going to prioritize a list build through the draft and of course supplement that with mature players. Free agent makes sense. Liam Baker one was gross, but fair enough. He's out of contract and we see him as a good West Coast player. But the whole mix of this, to bring in all three senior players like this at the expense of pick 3 and not a strong draft hand, what do we hold? Let's say 12, we're going to give up 14, so we'll get a pick in the 20s back. So 12, 24, 26. You're full of shit, West Coast, if you think that is the same thing as prioritizing the draft. Oh, I don't often go so hard. I don't think I've ever been as pissed off at a trade. It is just completely not aligned with what West Coast need to be doing right now. And it reeks of trying to improve now at the expense of trying to do this the hard way. I'm all for a balanced approach. This is no longer balanced. This is ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, you can check out the other video where I sort of explore like what does Matt always offer to us. Like I said, he does improve us. He is best 22. I'm not so ignorant to suggest that he's got no value. And I did say in that video that I think Carlton probably would have dropped the ball had he walked away as a delisted free agent. But do you know what? Carlton fans would be laughing at this scenario. The difference between 12 and 14 getting accepted was Matt Owies, a player that they would probably gotten used to the idea that they were going to get not very much at all in a trade, or they'd lose him as a delisted free agent. Now he's been packaged up with this deal that is not aligned with what we're meant to be doing at the moment. And that is the difference between us accepting it and not accepting it. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. And I cannot defend West Coast on this trade. And I will not. I'm sure that over time I will settle with it and I'll delude myself into thinking, oh, maybe this will work out. Maybe we'll be better next year. Nah. We need young talent. We do. And a move from pick 3 to 12 is significant. Too significant to justify getting Baker and Owies onto our list. I can already see the outrage all over Twitter. I know I'm not alone in this, but let me know in the comments what you think, guys. Like I said, I wasn't planning to do this video so quickly, but when I saw it explode in multiple places like Toomey and Ryan Daniels, two very reliable sources on this front, we can expect it to happen. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. I am mortified by this. For all the shitty deals that were proposed for West Coast to do in this trade period, this is possibly the worst one, and it is the one that is true. So that's just fantastic. It's great to finish third last, sack our coach, and not even have a good draft pick. 12's not bad, but it does not reflect the shit team we were this year. And getting Baker and Owies does not alleviate that concern for me. So let me know in the comments. I'm sure there will be some that defend it, but I just cannot agree with you, and I'm emotional. This is an emergency upload for a reason. Maybe I should have waited longer, but don't agree with it. I think West Coast are full of shit if they're saying that they wanted to prioritize the draft. I know that more deals can happen and I might look silly, but if I look silly, then that means something good's happened. So that's fine. Let me know in the comments what you think, Eagles fans. This is bullshit.